Listening to Environmental Soup through the facilities of Trent Radio. And I'm currently on Twitch as well. I'm recording this in advance. On today's episode uh, of Environmental Soup, I will talk about the freedom of information, how to request information, why it's important, and I'll talk about the environmental things happening in the environmental registry, environmental news, um, and other things as they come up. Um, and I'll give an example of when freedom of information uh, was was used effectively. So, how to make a freedom of information request, and I'll also talk about like wetlands. Um, yeah, so the government of Ontario has a web page um, that can guide you, and one of the reasons why uh, freedom of information requests are important is because there's stuff that's not always public that maybe should be public. You want information on a particular property, um, particular policy, um, why the government decided what they did. Um, you might want statistics on the history of something. So there's an overview. It's under the Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act and the Municipal Freedom of Information and the Protection of Privacy Act. You have the right to request information from certain public sector institutions in Ontario. And there's no restrictions on age or where you live. And it says right here you can submit a freedom of information request if you want to access general records held by institutions, uh, Ontario government ministries, colleges, universities, agencies, or municipalities. You might want your own personal information, collect your personal information, access another individual's personal information with appropriate authorization or consent of the individual. Um, frequently requested information, police services, court records, property information, licenses, social assistance. And what this has to do with the environment is briefing documents that help decide what policies are made. Uh, they're usually 1 to 2 page documents, or the short documents that give ministers different options on a policy, expertise, and then and then I've submitted one's for the municipal. Um, they usually cost like, from my experience, they cost $5 municipally, but they can go but I've also had experience where they've cost like over $1,000 with the police. Um, so it's important to recognize that there's a huge variety in cost. Um, but my experience is that they'll let you know, like there's a minimum cost of like $5, uh, but they'll let you know if it exceeds that cost. Um, and they'll give you some time. Um, but it's important to prepare that it could be a huge variation. Um, yes, so uh, that's important. Um, so I went over some of the examples, and then there's a directory of records. And I'm interested in like environment related topics, and you might be as well listening to my environmental focus show. Um, yeah, so you can, if you're interested in like a topic, you can search wetland, and it'll give you like the ministry. In this case, Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry. That makes sense. Wetlands, all those, all under natural resources fall under Ministry of Natural Resources. Um, and then anything nature, a lot of nature related things, um, beings fall under Ministry of Natural Resources. I know a lot of indigenous perspectives um, have uh, considered like water that make up a wetland as a being. Um, so like, which means they'll um, they have like a spirit. Um, so that so the perspective. It's important to consider the perspective, um, and that a lot of these, well, these documents are colonial because it's a colonial government. Um, so yeah, anything related to the Ontario Wetland Evaluation System, Wetland Data Management product file, and then you can go. Um, into copy and paste the ministry, possibly. Um, so I like the that you can search. So something that you might be interested in, intergovernmental affairs. So something that that document would be something where the Ministry of Natural Resources communicates with the Ministry of Environment. Um, Fish age and growth, aggregate sites permits, small corporate conservation authorities act appeals might be interesting. Fisheries data archives, Ecoregion Digital Database, Peat Database. Peat is associated with wetlands, so there's a lot of databases. I thought I saw like a policy brief. So those register top. So those some maps. Ministry of Natural Resources has a lot of maps. That makes sense. Yeah, so you just keep going. And keep going down. I know that there's a policy brief. I typed natural heritage. That's what I typed. Natural heritage. So there's reports to the Minister of Natural Resources. Maybe if I type policy brief. But I guess you get. Oh, here it is. Those lands and water policy and analysis, planning, policy, and program development records. Well, they're not all in alphabetical order, but you get the idea. And you can download it on CSV, which is an Excel extension. So then, I guess I can go back. So yeah, you want to know what type of record you're looking at. And then it says there might be additional fees depending on what you're looking at. And then there's instructions for doing it online versus in mail. Yeah, and it says that there's a $5 application fee. So you want to do your resource. Sometimes things that you're looking for have already been researched. And sometimes what you're looking for is publicly available. So you want to make sure that it's not already publicly available because it does cost money. And as I said, it could go into, unfortunately, like thousands of dollars. I'm just checking to see if I have any comments as I go. And then one reason why you would want to file Freedom of Information request is that there's a requirement to reply to them. Like even if it's like we're not giving you this information, for X, Y, and Z reason. There's some requirement. Um, and then it just goes more detail. And then you can appeal a decision. An appeal is like $25. Um, yeah. So so I'm just checking. I didn't advertise this, so there might not be a lot of people in the chat. Um, I'm going to advertise my streams. What one of these days, soon. Um, so there's an article that I found from the Narwhal. They do like analysis on um, environmental topics. Mostly I would say an environmental focused newspaper. So there's an article, the report on Ontario's natural resources the government didn't want you to read. And this is as a result of a Freedom of Information request. Um, and it's related to Ontario's forests, fisheries, and biodiversity. And the report is the state of Ontario's natural resources. And then the article has a list of some of the bigger findings. And then there's why the Knoll had to use Freedom of Information to see the report. A progressive conservative natural resources minister, John Yakubuski, declined to make a decision in 2020 when ministry staff will ask for go-ahead to hit the publish for the report. And this report was ongoing since 2017, and it was meant to be easily accessible for the public. And then the Auditor General said the ministry could not provide our office with an explanation why. The ministry told us it has no plan to share the prepared website or indicator reports with the public without ministerial approval to do so. So it's online. So I'll look for the report. And then there's a heading, Wetlands and Wildlife in Southern Ontario are under stress. Yeah, Ford is pushing hold for more development. And this is even more the case since this article was written. there's been massive changes to the wetland evaluation system. Uh, and then like also like wetlands have been declining. The data for wetlands um, is between goes up to 2015. So before the until before the election of the Conservatives in Ontario. Um, so, and I also read that it's like one of the biggest in that time period just before the Conservatives. Wetlands, wetland destruction was already um, bigger than it has been in decades. Um, so yeah, so that's like one of the reasons why like freedom of information requests are valuable. You can and a reason why to support newspapers as well. Um, yeah, so this is the next topic is natural heritage. Ontario. Oh, and this is just like an agreement. So this is a map. Um, there's a government website from the Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry. Make a map, natural heritage areas. So you can click on um, Peterborough. Um, they don't they don't label indigenous names, but it's Northern. Um, so and then you can select map the different map layers. Um, so I'm just trying to get into Peterborough. Getting closer. So see a big I see a provincially significant wetland. Uh, this looks like Copples Creek. And I think I can. I think I can ask it to. What can I ask it to? I can search for wetland. I don't know if this lets me see the name, but I can look up a coordinate, see that there's a wetland at that coordinate, but I know it's Hopple wetland. I can just type in wetland. Um, provincially significant. Oh, evaluated wetlands. There was 1,000 of them. So I don't know why there's 1,000 of them. I don't know how to. I'm gonna try to figure out how to work this. The map. Um, I got it to work better last time, but I know like Whitby isn't close by. But yeah, there are still like unevaluated wetlands in the city of Peterborough, and then now even evaluated wetlands can lose their status because they're not counting endangered species. They're not counting uh, combined wetlands anymore. Um, they're not counting complexes. Um, yeah, so there's a couple minutes left. Okay, so I'll just quickly run down the environmental registry. Look at that. Search the registry. Comment period open. Notice type policy regulations and act. I probably won't get through all of them in the next couple minutes. There's a collection, management, and improvement utilization of smart metering data for behind the meter distribution energy resources, and that has number 019-6521. You can comment on that until March 3rd. Mini Mules Industrial Standard, that has number 019-3986, and you can comment on that until January 28th. Future enhancement to the qualification program for Ontario's building practitioners, that has a number of 019-6433, and you can comment on that until February 3rd. Proposed changes to tables 1 and 2 of the Nutrient Management Protocol incorporated by reference into OWIG 267/03 made under the Nutrient Management Act. And you can comment on that until February 2nd. Proposed life cycle analysis models and technical guideline update for the Clean Oil Transportation Fuels Regulation. That has number 019-5144. You can comment on that until February 6, 2023. Changes to the procedure for corrective action for systems not currently using chlorine document. That has number 019-6234. And you can comment on that until January 20th, 2023. Yeah, so yeah, I might, yeah, those, yeah, not too many people watching tonight, so I'll end right about now. Yeah, and enjoy the rest of your week. And next week, I will plan on talking about the the Greenbelt letter signed by the three opposition parties, um, and other topics that might come up. So yeah, thank you for listening, and enjoy the rest of your night, week.